So hello and welcome to this video today here in nature, and we are going to talk today about the subject why time is not healing wounds. So at least in German, in the German language, we have the saying of time is healing your wounds. So that's what people say. It's just kind of a saying, and I want to do and make the statement today that this is not true. At least in most cases of time. In some cases in life it might be true. So in some parts of life, surely time is necessary it's necessary to have time that things can grow, that things can develop, you know, that grass, for example, is not growing faster when you are pulling on it. But I think this saying is more kind of a saying that comes out of a society that has never really learned to solve their issues of life, and rather like just getting over it. So just get over it. This is another saying, and you have this saying in America, for example, in the US, or in English. So get over it, right? So but in my experience, and I have some experience with personal issues, with life issues, with health issues, which are by 90%, 95% or even more absolutely psychological, that time is not healing our wounds, and the saying just get over it or something like that, just give it some time, is not really fixing the source of the problem. So it is about the source, the origin, the root of the problem. It's never about the symptom. It's not about what we have or what we see or what we experience. It's about why do we experience this? So why exactly this, and why us, you know? And not in a kind of a victim way. So like, why me? Why poor me? That's not what I mean. I mean like in a way of taking responsibility for your life, taking responsibility for everything that is happening within your life. And this is what a man does. A man, by my understanding, a man who has truly found himself. And I mean like there are many men physically, we all got something between our legs, but if someone is a man truly within himself also, not only physically, this is another subject. This is an entire new level, and this is something that I experienced. And in my experience, a man that is, in my understanding, has grown into a mature masculinity, into the man psyche, as Carl Gustav Jung would say. A man of this kind would take absolute responsibility for his life in every single aspect. And it's about a conscious living. It's about a life that is seeing and recognizing the things that are happening, and that is taking into account everything that is happening from a perspective of I am the creator of this. I'm at least in some part, I don't want to use the word guilt, but I'm in some part responsible for the stuff that is happening within my life. And of course, I'm not responsible for everything. I'm not responsible for everything that is happening out there. In some indirect way I am, certainly, but oftentimes taking responsibility means to let go and to give away responsibility that I'm taking for somebody or something that is not in my direct space of taking action or of having direct influence to it. But we have to take responsibility for the things that are happening within our direct area or space that we can directly influence. And this means relationships that we have. This means our professional life. This means our personal living, art of living or way of living, our personal life. This means your health and your physical appearance, right? And certainly this also means your inner state, your self-worth, the kind of how do you perceive yourself, how do you carry yourself through the world, your self-esteem, right? And all this is in your direct area or space of influence. And by this, it is your most important responsibility that you have to carry, right? And or you have to take. And if we are talking about things that are happening within your relationships, for example, which I experience a lot with, not only in your relationship life but also in your private life, absolutely in your professional life too. But in my business, where you're supporting men to grow into a stronger, more fulfilled way of living, in a way of living the life and relationships that they desire, it's mostly about relationship issues and about life issues. And I experience a lot of times that men or people, not only men, I've also experienced this with women that I speak to or that come to us and seek for help. They had for many years they had professional kind of help, and they had psychotherapy or whatever, and I don't blame it. And I have experienced it for myself when I was not doing so well, and this is now 14 years ago, something like that. And I experienced everything on the market that is like the conventional way of dealing with those subjects, right? I hope this is the right word. And what I experience is those people might have had someone who's really good in what he does. So he's good in analyzing problems, and they know everything, why they have it. They know that it has to do something with their parents, and they know everything. They have analyzed it to death. That's what I say. But still, they have, many years later, still they have the same issues appearing in their lives. So just to give you an example, I have met a woman, it's not so long ago, that has had a relationship with a man who just couldn't give any commitment to her in this relationship. And at the beginning, as usual, it was all fine, but after a few years it started to be kind of fluffy, and not this commitment was lost. So she was experiencing him spending more and more time for himself, meeting other women, not giving any more commitment to the relationship, and also not about the future, about a common future, right? So she experienced it after a few years of relationship. It ended up in he was meeting another woman, and he told her that he's not sure if he loves her anymore and if he wants a relationship and all this stuff, and she was fighting and doing, and of course, not of course, but in most cases, and in this case too, it fell apart, the relationship. And for many years she was kind of craving for him, and she was doing hard to get over it. So she took lessons, or she took for herself a psychoanalyst, and he was pretty good and really like a really famous person in his profession or in his area of expertise. And 5 years later, or almost 6 years later, she had the same experience again with another man. The same experience. And the thing is, the lesson this wants to teach us, or her especially, is she has not truly understood why the experience happened in her life, why she has experienced it. And this is the same for men. So I talk to many men that have been abandoned by their wife or their girlfriend, or that have been cheated. Their girlfriend has cheated on them, or anything that kind of matters. So or girlfriend that has left them, or whatever, something like that, or girlfriend that has not given any commitment to them. And what happens is that those men are frustrated, they are unhappy, they are like, I want to change this, they feel the pain. And what happens is sometimes life gives you kind of a test. And those guys, they experience many times that they have another relationship, they meet another woman, and they experience the same thing again. And so I can tell you, or I just say to you, certainly, most certainly, you have experienced the same thing before. Or you have experienced your kind of issue, that's your personal issue. I don't know what it is. You have experienced it for yourself before. It is also possible that you are the one who is leaving the relationships all the time, and you experience this relationship all the time, and you experience this sort of issue all the time, and you are never really you're never having the ability to really commit to a relationship or be happy in a relationship. And you end up in a relationship not being happy, and you think like, what am I doing here? I don't want to be in a relationship, but it happens that I end up in one. So whatever issue it is, it mostly appears all the time, over and over again. And this is why life wants to tell us. Life wants to tell you something about you, and only about you. Certainly about the other person too, but it's not important. What is important is you and what it has to do with you. And this is what I mean by taking responsibility for your life. You ask yourself, why did I have to experience this? What does it have to do with me? So what's the matter with me? What's the problem? What is it telling me about myself? And what is the lesson of it? And what do I need to learn? And don't think like the lesson is just, I just fell into a trap and I should be more careful next time, or I should not laugh anymore and I should not fall in love again, and love is just bad, or men are bad, or women are bad, and women are just like, women are just, they just like, I cannot trust women, and this is the way women are. This is not true. This is your experience, and you experience it the way you experience it, because I can prove you that it's not right what you think. Because can you think of a person that has experienced like the opposite of it? Maybe it's just a minority. Maybe it's just one person you know, or you know like it's a person that is famous or whatever. I don't know. Maybe it's not a person you know directly. But certainly there is a person you can think of that is experiencing or has experienced the opposite of what you are experiencing. So this is the proof that maybe many people think the way you think, and many people say like, this is just the way it is, but this is not true. It doesn't have to be true, at least. And I want to tell you that only if you have analyzed your problem, and I mean many people not even do this, right? Only if you have talked about your problem and like sit on the couch every week or every 2 weeks and like talked about it month for month, and not really know what the issue truly is, and what you truly have to learn from it and understand about yourself, and what you truly have to change within your life. How the way you perceive life, the way you think about relationships, what it has to do with you, and again, what you have to change, because it's never only here. It's understanding, it's integrating, and it's doing. It's not only one. It's never only one. And most people are either just doing or just understanding. And also, it's not only about understanding and integrating, it's also about doing. It's about bringing it into the physical world, by executing, by doing, by changing your behavior, by making decisions and acting on these decisions. And this is the hard part of it. This is the most important. No, it's not the most important, because all of it is important, but it's certainly the hardest part of it, to really do the things, really execute on your decisions that you have made for yourself. So I want to invite you to look closely into your experience you have made, and ask yourself, why have I experienced it? And if it is happening again, although you have maybe has done a coaching or whatever, psychotherapy, apparently it has not helped you to go really deep into the roots, the source of the problem, of the source of the issue you carry within you. And it has not shown you a way to truly understand why it's there, because it's about the understanding for yourself. Why do I have this issue? And what does it have to be with me? And what do I need to change? What is it I need to change? This is like the most important part of it. What is it I need to do with this, what I experienced, or what I recognized about this? So I want to invite you to look closely, to have the courage to look again, if you have already, and if you are tired of looking into it, and if you're tired of experiencing it. And I want to tell you, have courage to go the next step, to allow yourself to trust people, trust women or men, whatever you are, whatever you experienced, and to not say like women are this or men are this, but to say, okay, I experienced this is my experience, and it has to do something with me. And most certainly there's something within me that believes a certain way, acts a certain way, because what you believe is what you do. How you think is how you act. This is just what it is. And certainly it has to do something with how you think and how you behave in life. And I want to tell you, have courage to change your life, because you are able to change it. And you do not have to have a relationship that is not fulfilling. And you do not have to be alone only because you have experienced something that was not a nice experience. Learn from your experience, use it, and then you can have an even better relationship. Every bad relationship that I had, every relationship that I had was good. And if it was bad in the way I mean it here, it was something that I learned from a lot. And especially from those relationships that I had that were more like had a lot of drama involved or stuff like that, I learned a lot, and mostly about myself. And they enabled me to have today really healthy and happy relationships with other people and with women. Thank you for giving me your time, to spending this time with me. If you liked the video, just leave a thumb up. If you did not like it, or if you have anything to say, just leave it in the comment section. I would be happy to read them, to read your comments. And I want to make more videos of this subjects. And if you like it, just subscribe to the channel. And I wish you a wonderful rest of your day, and I wish you a lot of courage to take responsibility. Thank you.